the fact that, everyone uses ChatGPT, you'll use it for anything in your daily lives. And, people like my wife who are a vet who, tend to not use computers almost at all, loves it because, it's better than Google. It does this, it does that, it breaks stuff down, it talks to you like a human. Everyone now thinks that's the answer. And I think it does have a chance of like simplifying the complex, but I think there is an opportunity that it's going to miss the mark with regards to sort of managing those expectations of actually we've got to get the process right, we've got to get the bedrock right. So I think for me, the challenge we made was it wasn't marketed right. So government came in and said, you're going to do this. It looks like a complex process, brother. And it took the industry a little while to work out, actually it's not that. It's relatively straightforward. So yeah, in terms of the horse and the knight, it was probably quite a few children all on the horse, all fighting about what it all meant, at the same time as trying to roll it out to the industry. So I think that's probably where it. So the process, I think, is it stands true and it's still used today. I think it was just the way it was rolled out was probably the bit that we learned lessons from. And now looking at the work that we do in America or Australia or Canada, we're trying to take the best bits of what is now a mature process in the UK and implement it in a relatively simple, less complex methodology around, rolling it out, which has worked really well. So they have less baggage around the complexity of the standards and more energy around driving value through what is ultimately a great process. So yeah, it's quite an interesting one.
Do you think that AI, you mentioned about AI, do you think that AI will simplify BIM? Do you think that there could be a connection or a bridge that's made there?
Yeah, 100%. I think just in terms of manipulating, managing, understanding complex data, I think there's a huge amount that can be done then. I actually think AI's got a chance to redefine a lot of the sort of process and administrative non-creative tasks that we do.
So you're talking the repetitive?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's where we'll see the biggest value in making sure that we've got more opportunity to be more creative, to be able to think, to problem solve. I think taking out a lot of the repetitive tasks that can be automated and spending more time in the sort of creative space around problem solving, I think is where the biggest opportunity is. And then I think making sense of rubbish data, AI has a much better chance of doing that than what we've been trying to do for the last 15 years within construction. So from a asset management perspective, facilities management perspective, there's been a huge gap in quality data, which has held organizations back from managing their buildings most effectively. It takes a lot of time, money, emphasis, energy to get all of that data in the right structured way. Whereas now actually with AI, you could look at it the other way, where you can start sorting, start categorizing, start tagging fairly poor quality information into something that is a bit more structured. And so I think there's opportunity there to like take out some of that grunt work, if you like, to make sure that we can then manage buildings more effectively as well.
Do you think that there's a risk in doing any of this that's going to be related to people's jobs or quality of building, something that's hidden or lurking somewhere that gives you a worry?
So I love the quote, your job's not going to get taken by AI, it's going to get taken by someone who knows how to use AI. So I think I definitely agree with that. I think everybody has to get on this bandwagon, has to understand it. The point of entry for AI is so much lower than it was for, say, BIM and understanding BIM.
Massively.
So I think we need to get everyone utilizing it. I think at the moment we're in this sort of area where there's a lot of expectation that it's going to solve everything. And I think that will sort of slowly slowly mature into something around an understanding of what it can do. So I don't think it's going to take jobs. I think there's a risk around the expectation side of things and just trying to do too much too quickly. And then it's an interesting point around quality of design, because you can see even quality of written work in terms of reports is, AI is taking that over. I think we're going to quite quickly get to a point where people realize when someone's put some real thought into something, and they may have started with a ChatGPT report, but their prompting, their ability to use research, the ability to use agents, the ability to go back and circulate and use that as a way of driving better value rather than just doing stuff quickly. I think we're going to quite quickly see good reports and bad reports that are just written with AI. So I think, again, it's that point about humans who know how to use AI are going to be the ones that succeed, and that is that interplay between using it as a tool rather than using it to do a job.
And just going back to the point that you made before with reference to leaving the human to do the creative bit, I think that's where the AI with the human actually increases the capability and capacity of creative, not just thinking, but also application is that joint force, as opposed to and that joint force adds value.
Yep.
As opposed to I just want something done this quick because it improves my margins. I think that will stand out like a sore thumb for sure, because both are trying to improve your margins, add more value, improve your margins, just do it quicker, improve your margins. One of them is more sustainable than the other.
Yeah, I think we've got a research project at the moment, knowledge transfer partnership at the moment, where we are looking at AI in non-design tasks. So, whether it's supporting proposals, whether it's managing financial tasks, whether it's managing information filing and document control, and all of the stuff that is outside of the creative process. That's where we're trying to focus, where AI fits in, because if you can do that part of the process quicker and more efficiently, you can spend more time. So it's doing more with the same. Ultimately, is what we're trying to strive towards. And I think you will see that curve almost happen at the minute around those sorts of elements, because that craft of being able to design a building or being able to control, how that process of building is not going to go away and it's not going to get replaced. So it's like, how do you maximize or optimize that part of it by taking away a lot of the burden of administration and the like. I guess the challenge is always going to be new shiny stuff to play with versus getting on with the important stuff, I suppose.
Thanks for watching to the end. I think that you'll like this, but before you do that, just make sure that you've commented and liked below, and also that you subscribed.